For the first dining review of the year, I figure I'll stop in on my roots, a place that I can get a good Italian sub. Up in Latham and up in Saratoga, we have this place called Roma Imports that supposedly makes the best subs in the area. Now, I've actually never been there for a sub. I used to actually go when I needed things like, Italian imports like mascarpone cheese, ladyfinger cookies, stuff to make specialty Italian stuff. And being that my roots is from basically an Italian import store, which my dad retired from a few years ago, what better way than to actually check this place out for the first post of the year. So strap in, hit like on the video, subscribe for new reviews and new recipes every week, and let's get down there and let's get a sub. Got the sub in hand. I'll walk you through kind of the ordering process about this place. There's something a little peculiar about it that I want to talk to you about, but that needs to sit for a couple minutes. So I got about a 15-minute drive home. We'll dig right in. Stick around to the end of this video. I have what I think is the best beverage, and Roma actually had it, albeit not in the small bottle, but something that has to go with every Italian sub. Got the bag. Oops. It's got to be wrapped in this kind of paper, and you gotta have some bleed through on it. Otherwise, it's just not the experience. Hit it. Let's talk first about the ordering experience. Now, I've been going to Roma for probably, I would say about 20 years since I found out about them. I used to live right up the road in Latham, and it was the most convenient place to get import type stuff. I never understood the layout of the store. So in the back is where they have the cold cuts. In the front, there's like a counter where you can order, I guess, hot food to go. And then around the back of that, I think that's where you order hot subs. And that's kind of across from the cold cut counter. It's just a weird layout, and when there's a lot of people in there, today there were actually quite a few people considering we're in the middle of a pandemic. It's just hard to know whether you're on the right line or what you're doing. But honestly, like, I would call myself an experienced deli person. I worked in my dad's store for probably close to 15 years on and off. These types of Italian subs are not something that is new to me at all. I just love the fact that I can walk into this place and just seem like a complete newbie because I had no idea what's going on. So this sub is their sub of the week. They call it the good old Italian sub. It has ham capicola, general salami, which we call general salami, provolone cheese, and then it says lettuce, tomato, onion, your choice of roasted peppers, banana peppers, or hot pepper spread. Now, I went with banana peppers and hot pepper spread because I like the vinegariness of the banana peppers and then the heat of the red pepper spread. I noticed that the red pepper spread is a thing that they do up here. When we used to add hot peppers to the subs, we used to use the calabrese appetizer that I did a recipe on the channel here. I'll leave it linked in the description below if you want that recipe. We used to use that as the hot peppers, but I kind of like the red pepper spread. Everything is sliced to order, and he actually slices it onto this little piece of cellophane and then builds the sandwich that way. Honestly, like, he was even weighing everything out. That to me, I could tell the guy's experience, and I know why they would want to do that, for quality control and, limiting the amount of stuff on a sandwich. But after you make a few of these, you kind of get to know how many slices and how thick things need to be. It's a little bit amateurish to me, but this is like I would call this an upstate sub roll, where it's like more soft, almost kind of like a hamburger roll than an Italian sub roll. And it's really weird to me because the top is kind of crusty. The bottom is just like completely blonde. And I did ask him where these come from, and he mentioned the bakery in Albany. I don't want to knock the bread because it tastes pretty good, but I don't understand how the surface contact is less dark than the top of the bread, unless this is being baked in like with the heat from above. Whenever I get this, especially when I get peppers on it, I always try to get the lightest amount of oil and vinegar dressing on the sub. Because you have lettuce, tomato, and onion on it, You gotta have a little bit of that, but you don't want it to totally soak through the bread, especially with this type of soft bread. If you're dealing with a harder, like New York City type hero roll, I would say then you could probably just let them put the default amount, but you gotta have this sit so it soaks into the bread, but you don't want it to completely dissolve the bread, because even now it's kind of hard to eat. They cut all the way through when they build this sub, as opposed to cutting through half of it and kind of just butterflying it open, which I think is the better way to build a sub. I really don't want this to turn into how I can do it better, because obviously I didn't go into that profession, so I'm not here to criticize what they're doing. They're doing a good job. I will note $8 for this sub with both types of peppers is actually a pretty good deal. Another thing of note, while they're making it, he asks you, you know, what do you want? You want a pickle or you want olives? They give you 2 large Sicilian olives. These are kind of my favorite olives. That doesn't look like they actually marinate them in anything other than the brine. These olives actually benefit from a slight crack and then sit in some olive oil with some garlic and other herbs. Maybe we'll make that on the channel someday. They're large olives, so you can't really fault them for that. Again, $8 for this, really not a bad deal at all. I promise if you stuck around, I would tell you about the perfect thing to drink with this type of sub, and they do have it there, but I had to get the family size. I guess they don't like individual servings for this. They do make smaller bottles. They might be harder to transport, maybe not as popular up here, I don't know. But it's Manhattan Special Coffee Soda. If you're not familiar with this, it's actually espresso soda. It originally was made in Manhattan. They don't even say anything about this on it. Hand brewed from freshly roasted beans. I like having this with a sub. Another beverage I like to have is Canotto, which is like a bitter soda. They don't really have that at their... I think they have it, but it's not cold. You gotta have a cold soda with this. And you can see, it's actually a pretty thick beverage. And I even got the diet version. We're gonna stop there because I'm wound up enough.
Perfect.
That's so good. I never understood how they made this soda. I used to drink one of these a day whenever I worked in my dad's store. And I love it because it has like that nutty roastiness of coffee, but it's not like bitter. It has like, it tastes like it's coffee, but it's not like overly bitter. And they add sweetener. I think this has like aspartame because it's a diet soda, but it is what it is. So let's do it. Let's do it right. Take a nice big bite of our sub. Swig of coffee soda, and that's what it tastes like when I was a teenager. If you like this video, I do dining reviews here every week. I'll leave a link to my Pareca's review, which is a much older establishment right here. And like I said, I make delicious recipes, including that hot calabrese appetizer. I'll leave that link right here, and you can check all that out. Thanks so much for watching. Comment down below with future suggestions for places I need to check out, and we'll talk to you in the next one.